The film opens with a picturesque and tranquil neighborhood where an apparently happy and prosperous family resides. The husband, named Don, and his wife, Mona, along with their two children, Allison and Andrew, seem to be the perfect family. However, Mona's domineering nature takes center stage, and her will must be obeyed at all times. Their relationship is rigid, and everything must be done according to Mona's wishes. As a result, their daily lives are devoid of joy and intimacy, which are crucial in a healthy family. Mona's excessive insecurity about her children's success leads her to demand that they always emerge victorious, even if it means resorting to dishonest means. Disobedience is not tolerated, and any violation is met with severe punishment for Mona. Don, on the other hand, is unhappy and depressed, but he chooses to be patient and tolerate the situation to maintain peace in the family. In his professional life, Don works as a manager at a large furniture store, which is technically owned by Mona, as her parents provided the funds to start the business. One day, during a recruitment drive, a woman named Dusty appears for an interview at Don's store, and he is immediately attracted to her. His employee and neighbor Lay encourages him to hire Dusty, and he complies. Additionally, he mentions that they need a distraction from their stressful marriage. Meanwhile, a man appears to have just committed a murder, and while watching TV, he sees a commercial for Don's furniture shop. The man and his gang begin to track Don and his wife's activities. Despite this, Don continues to spend dull days with his wife, and one of the gang members follows him to find out where he lives. Finally, Don manages to escape from it all by having an affair with Dusty, which makes their relationship more intimate. As a result, Don's relationship with Mona becomes even less interesting. Initially, everything goes smoothly for Don, and he is able to keep his affair hidden from Mona. However, during a family party, Dusty drops a bombshell and reveals that she is pregnant with Don's child. Don is shocked to learn this because Dusty had previously taken pregnancy prevention pills. Additionally, Dusty refuses to abort the pregnancy and keeps urging Don to take responsibility for their actions. Don seeks advice from Lay and asks him what to do about Dusty's pregnancy. Lay suggests that Don give Dusty some money in exchange for her silence and to leave Don's life. Lay believes that women like Dusty are gold diggers who often blackmail wealthy men like Don. It turns out that Dusty is actually the lover of a gangster named Murphy, the man we saw earlier. Murphy has assigned Dusty the task of seducing wealthy men in order to extort money from them. However, this time, Dusty develops genuine feelings for her target. Don follows Lay's advice and gives Dusty $13,000, hoping to end their relationship. But Dusty refuses and continues to blackmail him for more money. Don is worried that his mistake will ruin his family, including his children and his wife Mona, who could potentially act out of control. To make matters worse, Murphy demands that Dusty extort even more money from Don, this time $25,000. Don is broke and doesn't know what to do. Eventually, he decides to confess his affair with Dusty to Mona, who surprisingly remains calm and asks if he still loves her. Don assures her that he does and wants to make things right. However, Mona's response is not what Don expects. She demands that he kill Dusty to stop her from extorting more money. Mona reveals a dark side of herself and warns that anyone who threatens her family's integrity will face her wrath. Dusty calls Don for the $20,000, and Mona tells him to give it to her. Don is now faced with two choices: divorce and lose his family, or follow Mona's orders to kill Dusty. He struggles with the thought of taking someone's life, but is also afraid of losing his loved ones. The next day, Mona continues to pressure him to commit the murder. Don is torn between his love for his family and his reluctance to kill someone. Mona prepares a high-dose drug to kill Dusty and puts pressure on Don to commit the murder. When Dusty comes to collect the money, Don drugs her and, with Mona's help, puts her in the trunk of the car. They bring her to their garage and dismember her body. Murphy becomes suspicious of Dusty's disappearance and pressures Don to give him $20,000, threatening harm to his family. Mona comes up with a plan to deal with the gangsters and convinces Don to dig up Dusty's body again. Don and Murphy meet again at a club, and Mona plans to confront the gangsters at their house during the night. Don is shocked to hear about Dusty's death and the police investigation. He realizes that he has been dragged into Mona's twisted and dangerous schemes. Don becomes paranoid and fears for the safety of his family. He wonders if Mona will turn on him next. Don decides to take action and confront Mona about her behavior. He confronts her about her past and tries to understand why she is so obsessed with killing and mutilating people. Mona becomes furious and threatens Don with violence if he continues to pry into her past. Don decides to take matters into his own hands and tries to find a way to protect his family. He begins to gather evidence against Mona and starts to plan his escape from her deadly grip. However, Mona is always one step ahead, and she manages to outsmart Don at every turn. The situation becomes more complicated when Lei-sun, Mona's son, becomes the target of Mona's anger. Don tries to intervene, but Mona's madness has already taken over, and she is determined to do whatever it takes to get rid of Lei-sun. As the days go by, Don's paranoia and fear increase. He becomes consumed by the fear of Mona and the possibility of her turning on him. He realizes that he has become a prisoner in his own home, and he must find a way to escape before it's too late. In the end, Don manages to escape Mona's deadly grip and flee with his family to a safe location. He knows that Mona is still out there, and he will always be looking over his shoulder, but he is relieved that he and his family are safe for now. The experience has left him traumatized, and he knows that he will never forget the horrors that he witnessed. Don is forced to confess to the police about his affair with Dusty because Dusty's boyfriend asked him to pay for it in order to keep it a secret from Mona. During their conversation, a neighbor's dog enters their garage and causes Mona to become irritated. Mona warns them about what she will do if the dog enters her property again. At Andrew's birthday celebration, Mona becomes angry and accuses Lei-sun of taking steroids because she thinks he's winning unfairly. She also insults the child's mother, who has Crohn's disease, and wishes her death. Allison, Mona's favorite child, quickly grabs a stick and smashes a unicorn when she notices her brother struggling during a friendly competition. Don becomes sad seeing how his son is treated and worries that Allison will become more like Mona in the future. He decides to end the madness and shuts off the electricity in his garage lamp to create an electrical short that would result in a spark. After testing it, he opens the gas cylinder valve to let the gas escape and fill the garage. Don asks his wife to get him some beef from the garage while he checks on the grill. As Mona makes her way to the garage, Don quickly walks away as if nothing is going on. Meanwhile, Mona opens the lamp in the garage and an electrical spark ignites the gas, causing an explosion that kills her. After the ordeal, Don moves to a new house and enjoys the wealth left to him by his late wife. He and his children are finally free from the fear of Mona's wrath and her strict rules. However, the movie isn't over yet because the police haven't found Murphy, who had run away from the house earlier. In the final scene, we see Murphy following Don's car from behind, and during the credits, we hear the sound of Don being shocked twice by Murphy, leaving the audience in suspense. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Thank you for watching.